could be Groundhog Day, folks. Honestly, this could be Groundhog Day because all we hear about is one topic in the news. Whether you're in Canada, the United States, England, or whatever, the one topic that keeps coming up is Donald Trump, the crazy orange man, as someone called him the other day, and his tariffs. All he does is tariffs. He beats people down. He's an horrible man. He can't negotiate properly. He's a bully. Blah, blah, blah. News cycles are dominated again and again and again. And the second story is Elon Musk. The fact that all of that Elon Musk does is bad, and it's time to burn Teslas and so on. The world's gone bat shit crazy, to quote Erin Mullen, whom I adore very much for what she's done. Welcome back to the Rant Network, everybody. I'm David Solomon. He is Stuart Brisgell. We are the Rant Network. You know what we do here, Stuart? Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern, we talk about stuff that's unedited, uncensored, unfiltered, and we are so unapologetic that we really do not care, because a lot of people hate what we say, because what we say tends to be the truth, tends to be another opinion, and there are many out there who don't want to hear it. This is all about what goes on in life, the quirks of modern life, the quirks in politics, the quirks of what makes every day tick. And by the way, folks, it's absurd. That's what we get into every day here at the Rant Network. So sit back, because today, here's the problems, folks. Two things dominate news cycles: Trump and Musk, Trump and Tesla, tariffs and burning down dealerships. That's all you hear in the news. Even this morning, as I woke up in Montreal, the domination of Elon Musk on air, of what he does at Doge, his 130-day mandate coming to an end per legislation, which I didn't even understand or care to understand, but hopefully we'll finally stop hearing about Elon Musk and his ways of doing things, which people hate. I mean, Stuart, we've talked about this ad nauseum in this rant in the last few months. Is whatever they do is bad, and it dominates the news cycle. But here's the problem: because the news is obsessed with Trump and Musk, inmates in the asylum are getting away with murder. Stuff is being done that's getting no publicity. Stuart, it scares the crap out of me that the media, again, who controls the message, lets very important stories slide by unabated. Stuart, I pass the ball to you, mi amigo.
Oh, you just did that so well, and you're such a green room nice guy. Representative, or should I just say shithead, Rashida Tlaib from some towelhead country who's a racist at her core, who serves Michigan's 12th congressional district, has been a prominent anti-Semite, anti-American representative of the House of Representatives, particularly have been extremely vocal as of late with the Israel-Palestinian conflict. You know, she focuses on stuff that never happened and didn't exist. She won't denounce known accepted terrorist organizations like Hamas, and her perspectives are considerably the most anti-Semitic out of all of the band of seven anti-Semites that are representing the progressive left. No, not the neo-Nazi orange guy that doesn't exist. She's the Nazi on the left, because the left fails to understand the whole backing of that whole Palestinian movement is a neo-Nazi movement. And her critical voice over Israel is exactly no different than a neo-Nazi politician of the 1930s. Her policies towards Palestinians are not only offensive, they are actually degrading women and children. However, she describes Israel as an apartheid state. You know, we talked about early this week about the Pakistanis that went to Israel and said, wow, normal people are here. I can be Muslim, Jewish, Christian, I don't care. Act like a dog, act like a chicken, gay, straight, no one cares. However, if you were any one of these minorities, you would be stoned, beaten, and murdered in any of these Muslim countries that Rashida Tlaib refuses to call them anti-anything. It's just amazing. She expresses her support for a one-state solution, emphasizing from the river to the sea, no Jew you will see. And she would love to see it here in the United States as well as abroad. And again, it's not just Rashida Tlaib. We talked about also in the last week the poison ivies. And, where did the poison ivies get all this money? And David and I have constantly brought up George Soros and a band of left-wing nutcases. But you know what we also have forgotten? David, how much money do you think Qatar has donated in the last 20 years to higher education like Columbia, NYU, UCLA? Just give me a number. How much?
It's in the billions. It's in the billions of dollars.
Billions. What if I told you it's in the excess of $13 billion from foreign sources that are very corrupt, like Qatar at $4.7 billion, with another, 8-9 billion that come with strings, because you know what? There are no strings attached when Qatar gives money, right? Wink, wink.
No, there is. Wait, but there are strings. The strings are there because they need to get something in return. They're not just giving away money because they're noble.
But I thought like NPR radio, they got $300 million from the federal government that has 87 Democrats that run the organization, no Republicans, a CEO that basically calls for death to Donald Trump and Elon Musk on a bi-daily basis, or her editorial team does on her behalf. But no, wait a minute. That's $300 million a year to advertise and promote left-leaning, left ideological things, which I don't know, if I was a Qatarian and I had an agenda and I'm giving $4.7 billion fucking dollars, that I would not expect them to, let's say here, we want some more people leaning towards Israel being apartheid, Jews being with bad noses and suck blood from children, and more falsehoods. Listen, David, I am frustrated. I am angry, not only because CBRE Industrious kept me cooking at 123 degrees for a week.
I
had to throw it in there.
Of course you did.
CBRE Industrious kept me cooking because they couldn't.
Please do not sue us. Please do not
get a coil. They couldn't get a coil. Is no different than the gross incompetence of, I'm going to say, university members. You guys, hate has one color: bad. What color is bad, David? Rainbow. And why am I using that? It's because hate's coming from all different directions simultaneously. You brought up the coordinated attacks that occurred not on October 7th, October 8th. You talked about the coordinated tents, the coordinated riots on campuses, the coordinated papers all over the world. The coordination of a rainbow of attack against Jews in the world. Neo-Nazism in the 21st century, David, is exactly what this is. And Rashida Tlaib...
I'm sorry. No, it's not neo-Nazism. Everybody keeps doing that. No.
It is. 100%
no,
is.
It's not. No. I'm going to stop you right there. Listen,
you're the history buff, and I'm going to say how you're wrong.
Because, Stuart, neo-Nazism is associated with the right. I'm sorry. This is not a right-wing movement.
No. But that's where I'm trying to make this point. The left constantly calls the right being neo-Nazism when it's not. It is the left, David. Okay. It is the left, and I'm actually going to prove it lock, stock, and barrel. You're talking about Rashida Tlaib and the Palestinian movement. This is solely generated from the Palestinians taking on Adolf Hitler's charter in the 1930s and 40s.
You're right, but you got.
Thank you.
It's not political. No, what you just did was, yes, they took on that charter, Stuart, but it was not a charter that they took on as much as an alliance. And this is the thing that you bring up, and I'm gonna amend a little bit if you don't mind. You're right about the fact that what these groups do is ally with the people that hate Jews
Huh?
consistently. First, it was the far right with the Nazis. Then it's the far left with the Soviets. This isn't about a political, ideology of right versus a left. It's the ideology of destruction. It's the ideology of the enemy of my enemy is my enemy, right? So it's not the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Okay, the Soviets and the terrorists get together. Now here's the funny thing: the U.S. government has been proven with Doge, Stuart, that they subsidized Hamas.
Mhm.
Doge proved this.
NGOs.
NGOs. And look and behold, do you think that the Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis care about these movements? No, it's a relationship of convenience. And what's gone under the rug, Stuart, is that people are not paying attention to what's going on.
Yep.
I'll take it a step further. From
Please do.
Massachusetts to California, municipalities are trying to pass BDS movement. And yet, where's the media? Nowhere, because the ideology is beautiful. This is what Hamas loves. Do you think Hamas loves the free press? No, they love the free press because they're useful idiots who are spreading their propaganda. It's a beautiful thing. The United States revoked visas of over 300 anti-Israel, as Marco Rubio called them, lunatics. That gets noise because that's
Hey,
bad.
can we send Rashida Tlaib back for anti-American? Listen, McCarthyism wasn't a good point in American history. And McCarthyism wasn't. But you know what? I'm going to tell you the chasing of the communists and the Marxists that occurred in the United States, and unfortunately the stain of the Japanese internments during that part of a dark era in American culture is really a shade of gray compared to what's going on today. And it's sad because that was really, really bad. I grew up with a friend who's Japanese who had all kinds of rhetoric in our era, David, as a result, and was called all kinds of crazy names, inappropriately at best. But here we are in 2025, March 28th, and you've got someone who is in the American government who supports an entity under American standards as a terrorist organization and refuses to denounce them, and they can still serve in government.
Stuart, not one entity, all entities that are against Israel. She is a staunch supporter. She's gone out there. Now there's this crazy group called Jewish Voices for Peace, which is not Jewish and not peace. Okay, but they took on a name. It's stuck. People think, oh, it's run by Jews. It's actually not. She loves them. She's spoken at pro-terrorist rallies. She has gone on and on and on. She goes unabated. Now, they claim it's free speech. And even there, we're like, come on. Now, the Democratic Party doesn't want to censor her because that's bad. And the Republicans don't have enough power to get rid of her. Unfortunately, that's just the way the rules work. But what I'm trying to get at, Stuart, from today's rant is there are story after story after story that's just not being reported. So, for example, the media wanted to once again lambaste Israel because Israel broke the ceasefire. Okay, again, all right?
Incorrect.
It was a back page story. Hamas broke the ceasefire. Hezbollah has broken the ceasefire. Yep. The Houthis broke the ceasefire. And with Donald Trump pounding the crap out of the Houthis, no one's paying attention, except when a bunch of politicians put it on Signal. That's all they care about. All right, again, if it's a way to get at Trump, we are going to report it. And if it's something that's good, we're going to bury it. And right now, by the way, as we speak, Israel is pounding Beirut because what did they find? Cache of arms again. Once again, they found that Hezbollah was going to start attacking Israel yet again.
Well, they were trying to rearm this Judea Samaria, and they just nipped it in the butt.
And yet, here's what's going to happen, right? Some way, somehow, it's going to creep up a little bit in the news feed because we have to blame Israel. The anti-Semites have to come out. Okay, but the real stories, the real things are once again buried. all in favor. Like, oh, we can't help Trump. We can't help Musk. We can't be good. We can't this. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot imagine if you were to go through some of the real news feeds, and I call them real news feeds, the stories out there are unbelievable. And yet, the only thing that the liberal media wants you to focus on, the one thing that the Democrats wants you to focus on is Trump, Doge, Musk, tariffs. Nothing else matters. Nothing else in this world matters.
You
Stuart?
mean you mean Trump derangement syndrome?
Well, TDS is a real deal. Okay? It's a real deal. Because all we care about is Rosie O'Donnell is leaving the United States because of Trump. Good.
Thank God.
Oh, get the hell out.
She insulted the Prime Minister of Ireland.
Yeah, well, she's a genius, you know. Just because you make money as an entertainer means it gives you a full right to be a dum dum. Stuart, last word to you, my friend, before I wrap this up.
Trump derangement syndrome is real, guys.
Yeah, well,
It's real.
folks, forget about this Trump. Folks, there are a lot of things going on in this world that we're not paying attention to. Dangers at our doorstep, and people are not paying attention. If you are in Canada, this is my only message to you. The need to vote on April 28th is critical. We are 30 days away, 31 days away. You must go vote. This vote is essential. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and this discussion. Once again, your support means the world to us. We really adore everybody's comments, likes, shares, and what have you. We'll be back on Monday. Have yourself a wonderful week.